Don't worry, miss, I shall get you down from this perilous peak. In the distant past existed a GameCube title called Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. It was a fantasy dungeon crawler and aesthetic treasure of the GameCube era. I liked that game a lot. So when I saw this game teased on IGN as a kid, my first thought was, hey cool, fuck off. Square decided, hey, we got a nice spin-off here, with this amazing soundtrack and appealing graphics, and a melancholy world where the air itself is poison. It's too good. The world can't handle this power. Burn it. Burn it to the ground! We open with the brutal realization that this game walks the fine line between fantasy and technology, which isn't all that disgusting except for, you know, the swords and fucking cameras. I gotta give it credit though, the first 20 minutes are like a revelation from God. Enter Lael, snarking pretty boy who is effectively the genetic offspring of Dante and Sonic the Hedgehog, raised in a world of Final Fantasy and, Does that come? This whole game is like an action-adventure B-movie. It's nuts. For reference, this game scored a clean... and, it's looking pretty well produced. Anyway, Lael and his pal are supposed to be guarding this airship, but it gets attacked. He and the High Commander of the Onion People drive off the attacker, and Lael uses his godly power of gravity manipulation, because he's a crystal bearer with crystals inside of him, to lift an entire fucking airship, steer it gracefully through a canyon, annihilate a cultural monument, and live. So we're off to a pretty strong start, but now we're free to move around in town for a second. You can throw people? What the fuck? This is so cool. I can just whip people around like a bunch of potato sacks. This is amazing. This is the best game I've ever played. Hey, that's mine. Boy, I'ma skin you, you mobile sock. Better say your prayers, cause you ain't weaseling out of this one. I got my trusty pocket knife and I'm about to peel you like a banana. Like the brain-dead imbecile he is, Lael protects the photographer from earlier and chooses to become a national criminal by obstructing justice because, like, I'm trying to come up with a single reason that doesn't reduce him to a sex-hungry fiend, but I'm having trouble. Oh my god! Jesus! I didn't realize this game was amazing. So they're on the run outside of town. The girl tries to ditch. Lael drags the cart back. We totally just stole someone's property. Hey! This guy is a boss fight later. Then there's this cool chase scene, and normally I hate a mobile turret-like sections in games, but there's just enough to do to keep the player engaged. There's something about interacting with the environment and the people in it, you know? Alright, just kidding, I'll stop. What I'm trying to show you is that the game has this life, this energy, bursting with innovation and expression that genuinely made me excited to play video games again. If only it lasted. Getting down to business, the gameplay is really basic. The major hindrances to the gameplay experience mostly come from having to control the camera with the D-pad at the top of the Wiimote while pointing with said Wiimote. Cumbersome is the word. Thankfully, the game is aware of this and streamlines basically everything. Need to go up? Hit A. Need to jump across? Hit A. Need to swing across a series of bars in succession? Point press B and shake. Ooh, didn't see that one coming. You have been led astray. But if you aren't hitting A, you're pointing, grabbing with B, and shaking the Wiimote, basically. Alright, let's check in on those dang kids.
Bill, look out!
Alright, that's the last one, I promise.
Come on, grab onto something! I think we'd both benefit if you went on a diet.
Hey! He's a rude dude. I can't believe this character. Like, they want to make him cool, but every other voice actor in the game is just better than this guy. He delivers his lines with the charisma of a plastic spoon. And let's not forget Belle. Look, the game goes out of its way to make her an unlikable sociopath, but Lael is so stupid she comes off as weirdly likable. And hey, this is that character, the one who hides things in her tits like it's a thing to do. What a dynamic. The story is actually really complex, I find, with a series of interlocking characters, but the gist is that the magic mastering race from the first game was banished to another dimension, but this one shows up and causes some trouble trying to do something and oh my god. Now, they wouldn't have people get crushed to death. This is a family-friendly game. Anyway, going solo finally will be free to roam the wilderness looking for trouble. And it's everywhere. Monsters spawn in specific zones in huge numbers. There's lots of different kinds, and like any game with a designer trying to, design it, they interact in interesting ways with Lael's powers. I like combining two beetles together and bowling them into other monsters. I like shaking this flan until it's reduced to nothing. I like using the switch on the back of this armor to break it and turning this cog on this giant's back. It's really cool. But as you play the game, you realize that monsters spawn in huge numbers and you do pitiful damage. So yeah, you can run away from almost every fight in the game. I think there might be 5 mandatory fights in the whole 10-hour romp. But the developers knew you'd be a cowardly shitweasel and hid the item that increases your max HP behind winning in battle. Wait, hey, no, what's that? Hey, stop, what's that? So I hate video games. For some reason, combat's on an invisible timer, so you can just run out of time if you don't do very much damage, and I really, really hate that. Maybe Lael and his strange antics can cheer me up. Look, every Final Fantasy needs a Sid. Who's Sid?
No worries, I needed to ask you something anyway, Sid. Or should I say Professor Sid, Chief Engineer of Lilty and Crystal Reactor Developer.
Yeah, thanks, but don't ever speak again. This game it's such a game. First you're in a grassland, then a desert, then a winery, then a forest, then a pocket dimension. Like, slow down. You did not slow down! The boss fights are all the same. Grab something and throw it, or tear things off and throw stuff. If someone told me the next Crystal Chronicles was gonna be Rock Chucking Simulator, no wait, that's exactly why I didn't buy this 10 years ago.
Hold it! Guys!
You're not doing much to dispel the Sonic rumors, Lael. By the way, did I mention that this game is undeniably fucking beautiful? There's all these summery warm spots. There's this autumn mountain. I don't see many games made for the current generation of consoles that wield the same raw aesthetics. Look at it! Oh, now that we have a moment to just look, take a moment to hit the like button, guys. It really helps. And if you're not subscribed, please do that and hit the bell icon to get notifications. I have a Twitter too, actually. It'd be cool if you could go there as well. Given the soundtrack is infinitely worse than the first, but you can hear fragments of the original, drowning in a sea of guitar twangs. Oh hey, time for a story update. Whoa! Holy shit! This is depraved, you hear me? You degenerates!
Agony that can cut like a knife.
I like how the story grinds to a halt, full stop, so we can watch these girls bump butts with each other. Remember, you lived in this time period. And the game makes you cheat to win in this weird mini-game. It's actually kinda entertaining. And in fact, there's all kinds of mini-games just like this. To keep the plot moving where some companies would just insert a cutscene, we get the Ass Master Supreme locomotive stealth section with small onion-headed child whipping included. Dancing with the bourgeoisie, running away from stuff. The game loves these mini-games, and honestly, I mean, they keep you engaged. They definitely lubricate the story, if you ask me. The struggle with the story, though, lies in traversal. Getting from place to place is not only unclear, but frustrating. You backtrack all over the world sometimes because you took a wrong turn at the meadow, and now you're in wherever the fuck I am exactly land. It's not like there aren't fast travel options. Yeah, there's all kinds of ways to cut down on travel time, but getting from point A to point B is just a pain. And I guess you'd have to play it to understand. It's just that the map's designed like a labyrinth of constantly spawning enemies. But then maybe that's the point. I only spent like 10 hours in game, and I skipped most of the extra content. There's stuff to do everywhere. I feel like someone going out of their way to play and enjoy the game could easily find this among their favorite games ever. I can't believe I just said that. Story update. Well, we've tracked the magic girl to this pilgrimage site in the mountains, but she's hiding.
Lael! What are you, like an 8-year-old?
Oh, sorry. Dude, it's that guy from the start of the game! And also the beach, but I skipped over it. Yeah, he's working with that evil-looking guy to capture the girl or something. I don't know, let's beat him up. Oh, but just kidding, I didn't kill him because I wanted to let him live to tell the tale of my strength to all the people. What are you doing? You Thanos him, dude! So I don't know, Jagron the armored idiot who's a power-mad psychopath is also a crystal bearer, and he's got a god complex, so I guess he's the villain. And not the magic girl because reasons, and oh my god, this story is too much for something so stupid. Look at this stupid idiot character who, remember, sounds like this. What? We have to follow this plank of fucking wood throughout his entirely stupid misadventures, acting all tough and aloof because he's a pariah. I think he shows exactly one single shred of humanity in this game, and I can't even remember where. Oh look, he's being all romantic with the princess, then oopsie doops. Geez, fine, I'll stop. Okay, but all due respect, this game is such an amazing free roam experience. You can go anywhere and do anything, it feels like. Yes, it's limited. No, I wish this wasn't the game we got, but god damn it, it's something, and that something is unique and interesting. Something a lot of games can't be anymore. Look, this game is fantasy Grand Theft Auto. You want that guy's chocobo? Bam, it's yours. Smell you later, kid. You wanna go start a fight? Hope you're ready to die. You wanna whip innocent people off balconies? It's there! It's just right there! Nobody even cares! Nobody even cares! I love it. This whole game is a choice. I mean, except a few scripted sequences, and that's pretty rare. But let's have a story checkup.
Why don't you take us outside? Hey, you! Beg for mercy or something! What's going on? Ah!
Jesus Christ, this is barbaric. Oh no, look at the trees, it's nice, and the beach is pretty. Your boyfriend is dead. Oh no, but there's Moogles with snacks and snowmen. He's shattered on the floor. I haven't even mentioned the equipment in this game, because I didn't use it. Yeah, you can get materials all over the world to craft into accessories that greatly power you up. I got one, and then I couldn't find the parts I needed for some, so I just gave up. I'm sure you actually have to play the game to properly get the materials, but why bother? When only 5-ish fights are mandatory, combat's a non-issue. I mean, until the final boss, but even that's just memorization. I played Crystal Bearers on hard mode. Easier done than said. Alright, look at the clock, it's time to finish the game. And of course he turned the king into a crystal. And of course the guards left the princess and the psychopath alone. And what did you think would happen? Idiots! So Jagran goes completely insane, starts fueling the broken airship from the start of the game with the crystallized king. Very charming thought, and at some point, when he could have killed the princess 12 times before she hit the ground, we're doing this Saturday morning cartoon villain shit. You can never stop me. And at this point, Lael was so filled with heroic angst, the holy fusion of Sonic and Dante's blood that coursed through his veins awakened. Jesus Christ, dude, that's a crystal skateboard. My eyes are just pissing vinegar. Just hit the track. Alright, you want some final thoughts? Okay, alright. It was bad, okay? It was worse than the original, but I had fun, okay? I had fun playing video games. Crystal Chronicles deserves more. This had to have done well in Japan, right? Like, come on. It was an adventure. It was epic. It was the best game you could ever play with motion controls on account of the whipping. You could whip stupid idiots everywhere. You could throw that girl off a cliff. It was great. It was the best game. Hey!